Sherman, set the Wayback Machine for fond memories. It's time for Throwback Thursday with Tom.
Hi, take two. Okay. Hi, welcome to Tom's Take on a Throwback Thursday on the Northside with my long time ago Eastern High School friend, Doug Babcock. I'll call him Dougie. Doug Babcock.
Thomas, how you doing?
Standout athlete. This is the hood that it all started for Doug Babcock. Three-sport athlete, Eastern High School. Went on and played college football, Grand Valley. Coached college football, Grand Valley, Eastern Michigan. Principal, football coach. He's done it all.
Wow.
It all started here.
It
right?
did.
Filley Park, man. Tell us what it was like playing at Filley Park. Did you have to be tough to play at Filley Park here on the north side of Lansing?
We did because that movie White Man Can't Jump, I was part of that. But
I had a book on that.
Yeah, well, but we had the Hunt family, Michael Taylor, that we'll talk about, I'm sure.
Sweet
and Bobby Hunt, they were legends here. I mean, they dunked on us forever. I mean,
right.
But then we'd invite anybody to come, and there was a lot of bloody noses.
Yeah.
And you had to suck it up, and you didn't go home.
Right,
So.
absolutely. So these rims, they look like they've been dunked on right now, but back in the day. You know, were you one of those 360 guys, Doug?
No, I was
Air
the guy.
Babcock? Come
Come
on, Doug.
No, I was the guy pulling on the net. The other guys were the ones, the rim shakers and stuff. But this basket used to dip, and it was only about 9.5, and everybody could dunk on it. I could get that every so often.
Right. So these were all Otto Junior High kids, or St. Therese, if they went to the Catholic, which is, we can see that right over here. And besides basketball, as we head down here, we were talking about pickup football. We all played sandlot football, you know, no pads, just, you know, ripping jerseys, clawing eyeballs, the whole bit. What were some of these, how did this field run?
This way? The trees weren't there, that we'll see in a minute, but tell you a good story. I'm in 10th grade playing. My older brother comes and plays with us. He tackles me, breaks my collarbone.
Whoa!
And in the game, we drive home. He says, "Don't tell mom and dad." It's during the fall.
How are you going to pull that one off?
Well, I go to practice on Monday, can't pick my arm up. Go Tuesday, can't pick my arm up. Finally, I go play the game.
No kidding.
Yeah, played in the game because those days, you know.
The quarterback, Doug Babcock.
Well, the dads, you know, would say, "Suck it up," right?
Oh yeah, because this is we're talking in the 70s.
Oh yeah, 1974.
Right.
So finally, after the game, and I mean, we win and everything, and well, it's probably our only win we got that year. The next day, I said, "I think I better go to the hospital." They said, "Oh yeah, you got a break. You broke your collarbone." So Bobby Hunt and my brother and all those guys are, you know, they were just legends here and playing and stuff. So we were lucky, but you could get a game with the Eislers and Chris Eisler and Greg Eisler and the Hunt family, and you'd have enough.
Eislers. Yeah.
So a lot of old names.
Yeah,
so.
A lot of big Catholic families. I did that walk on Tom's Take down Jerome. Think about all those big Catholic families, and you had one. The Hunt family was monstrous, right, in terms of sheer numbers, right?
Right. Well, there's 13 that lived in that house, and the Finnerdys lived there, and there's 11 that lived there. So the park, we always had a lot of people here.
Oh, you never ran out of kids to play.
No,
Dougie.
No,
absolutely.
No.
Now you're talking about Mike Taylor, you know, and actually we got a little clip of Mike's house that he grew up in. The legend Mike Taylor. You know, we always talk about mentors. You know, it's like when I was young, there was a guy 4 years ahead of me at Lansing Eastern named Mark Ditzworth. I mean, Ditz could do it all. The Ditter could do it all. Right. You know, and it's like you always had those idols. You had an idol and a guy that was in essence 3 years older than you, and Mike Taylor. Tell us what Mike meant to you.
Well, Michael, I'm getting chills even talking about him. Mike is the guy that, you know, I listened to on the radio when he played with Greg Lloyd in that game and got beat in the quarterfinals. But
and our pioneer in the regionals. Yeah.
And but Mike was a kid that we played with and grew up to, and they came over and he mentored me back, but I wanted to be Mike Taylor. I mean, he was 6'3.5" or whatever, 6'4". He could spin
left-hand jumper.
Oh yeah, but he was a quarterback.
Yeah.
But then there's a guy named Tony May.
Tony May and so Mike played tight end and then safety.
And he went to Eastern Michigan.
Yeah, and then Western.
Went to Western, then went to transferred over to Eastern.
Yeah.
But Michael was a guy that, I mean, he came over and they had a mentorship. the 12th graders would come back and work with the middle school kids with Tom Swiss.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Great concept. Because you're looking up to those high school kids.
And Mike came over, and I remember we would throw the ball around, and but yeah, he was all that, and that's just the guy that I kind of looked up to. Him, Bobby Hunt. I mean, if I always thought if I could be half as good as those guys, I could be, pretty decent player.
Okay, Doug, I want to fast forward this. So when you were a senior at Lansing Eastern and you won the CA championship, and it called CAAC, just Capillary Conference, if I remember.
Yep, 75.
I think you lost your first 3 games and you won 6 in a row and you were champions. Okay, and a big game against Sexton, if I recall, that might have gone into overtime, or it was right down at the end. Okay, so
snuck it in.
Who were the guys? Yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
So who were the guys, the young people that maybe looked up to you, or you passed the baton on to the next level? Do you remember? Did you have anybody like that?
Yeah, there was. You already had them on, but the Lynch brothers were very, very close.
Oh yeah.
And Jimmy still to this day says I didn't really pass the baton as much as I, helped him or whatever. But I did help him get recruited a few years later.
Right.
Went over that, but Jimmy and Jeff and Larry Cernick and a couple other those guys that are kicking around. I was also blessed that we had the Woods family on the north end.
Oh, Terry and Tommy. I played with Terry and Tommy Woods. Yeah.
Yeah, those guys. Ron and John. We used to call them Ron and Tom. They could jump out of the gym.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, but the Michael Woods was a year younger.
Yeah. Oh, that dude could lead. Woo!
We had a legacy though, if you think about it. With your year, Tim Mackey went to Grand Valley.
Yeah.
I went to Grand Valley. Michael Woods went to Grand Valley. The Lynch brothers. So they would come and they would go and.
The Eastern Pipeline.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what it was for quite a while.
And that moving forward. So.
I was the only one that couldn't play.
Yeah, because you got hurt early on, and then so you went into coaching then, and you did the high school coaching as well. So. Wow, and so what are you doing today for all the fans of Doug Babcock out there?
Well, I work for a company. I'm retired from being a principal after 30 years at middle school and Warren Consolidated and other places. And now I work for a company named GLP, and we are financial planners, but teachers are our big, clients and stuff.
Right.
So I work a lot in Lansing. I do live in Lake Orion, which was over by the Palace. But I come back and stay with my mom. It's 94. I got to give her a shout out.
That's awesome, Doug.
So she still works at our family business.
One more story I want to tell for all the Northsiders and the Eastsiders of this Eastern Sexton rivalry get a kick out of this, because Otto, half went to, and I've mentioned this when I did a Otto feature a few weeks ago, or actually a couple of months ago. Half went to Eastern, half went to Sexton. You split your football teams up. All the guys that went to Sexton played on this football team and stuff.
We combined.
Oh, you combined? Oh, didn't have enough. But earlier on, that was the deal. Okay.
Yep.
So, but tell us the story about the moms and dads who want their kids to go to Eastern and not to go to Sexton, which was a good choice in my opinion. Yeah, how did all that pull off?
Well, what happened is there's a bubble. The Magic always talks about, and the other side of town, I would have went to Sexton for the redistricting. Well, Lansing School District had no busing back in the 70s.
Right.
So what happened is there was an area of, if you look and you'd have to see, there's like a bubble here. That is, all the parents got together and said, our kids aren't going to Sexton. They're going to go to Eastern. We had a lot of alumni parents. So they went and they got every signature in this bubble of about 500 houses and went and stormed the old, school district.
Squeaky wheel gets the grease, huh?
Yeah. So, sitting on that school board, and then they got it changed, and they said, well, you'll have to provide your own transportation. So they don't ever, so I just talked to my mom about that, and she said, oh no, we got every house signed it. All right. So there is a bubble here that we all went to Eastern. It's closer by 7/10 of a mile from Eastern to Sexton.
Right.
So we went to Eastern, and I will never forget. And so I was supposed to go to Sexton.
Yeah.
The dividing line would have been US 27, and we would have all went to Sexton, but all the parents signed it. So there's a bubble, and down to Sheridan Road, which is about 2 minutes from here. And
so by Doug Babcock going to Eastern, that's why they won the conference title your senior year, and not Sexton, which came down to the wire. So all good stuff. Doug Babcock's been fun on a
Thomas, it's
throwback.
been great.
Always
Great,
great to
great.
talk to an Eastern guy, Lansing School District
Thank you.
guy, and
Thank you.
you've done very well. And all the Quakers got to be proud of this guy and embrace all this heritage up here on the north side. The Filley Park boys, I salute you. See ya.